Welcome back, Bulldog fans, to another edition of the Bulldog Chronicles. Today we're sitting with a former Bulldog who some of you might be well acquainted with already, but this time he's in a new role as the assistant head baseball coach, Mr. LaDale Hayes. How you doing, LaDale?
I'm well. Yourself?
All right. LaDale, as always, we are always happy to have you back on campus as an alumnus of Alabama A&M University. Talk about how this experience feels for you.
It's overwhelming. I'm glad to have the opportunity the coach just gave me, and I'm just glad to be back and able to start here my coaching career. Doesn't get any better than that.
Okay, you said you're starting your coaching career here, but actually you were at George Washington University for a brief stint.
Correct.
What exactly did you do while at George Washington?
I was the director of baseball operations.
Okay.
And as the director of baseball operations, NCAA says that you can have 4 coaches on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the 5th man on the staff. So I could not interact with players. I handle the business aspect of it,
mm-hmm.
front office work, liaison work. So I really didn't get the true coaching experience.
Mm-hmm. Visually,
I did. Observing, I did. Not interaction. And so this has given me that full start of actually officially having a jersey on your back. Because when you don't have a jersey on your back, I don't consider yourself a coach.
I agree. Your bio says you worked with the student managers, team budget, practice management, and travel recruiting plans, staff activities, coordination of video services, assisting with camps, clinic, and community initiatives. So whether or not you didn't work with the players, you still had your hands pretty full.
Yes.
You had. At Alabama A&M, you batted .323 for your career with 34 doubles, 14 triples, 10 home runs, 91 runs batted in, and 39 stolen bases. You were a 2-time first-team All-Southwestern Athletic Conference selection, and you led the NCAA in triples as a sophomore on the hill in the former Bulldog baseball field that had the chain link fence and didn't have some of the pretty amenities that it has now. Just talk about your playing days here for the Bulldogs.
I think those are pretty much the good experiences, and taught me a lot, humbled me a lot to understand that not everyone has the true Big 12 SEC atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And being a Bulldog and being at A&M taught me to respect the game and understand that you have to work with what you got. And being a Bulldog taught us how to fight. And when we go to those schools and those universities, it was a great atmosphere, great competition, and we were able to show that we were just as good as any other team. It just came to the point where you have to compete.
You mentioned the Big 12. You were also part of that team that upset Oklahoma State, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that contest.
Well, that was a very good game. Juan pitched a hell of a game. But it was very intense. It was competitive, and that's what happened. We came out, and we knew we had a job to do. And it's just like any other time we're on the field, we have to compete. But there's a different level and a different intensity that you have to have because we're already looked upon as already going to be beaten, and
mm-hmm.
we're just, a weak game to get ready for their conference games. And we had a different mentality, and we took it to them. And that was a great win to start the series off. And we made history, too, as well. You
did. Now, after your collegiate playing days, you got drafted in the Frontier League draft by the Evansville Otters as a pitcher.
Yes.
Talk about your professional experience.
As A&M, I was an outfielder. Came in my senior year, came in and closed against Jackson and Alcorn. At that point in my career, I developed with the swim coaching. We got in the pool, and after that, I was touching the mid-90s, and that's what got me in the door.
Okay.
Use 5 tools of baseball: hit, run, throw, catch, hit for power, and contact. And my tool was my speed and my arm.
In 46 games across 2 seasons with the Ottawa Fat Cats in the Inter-County Baseball League, you batted .301 with 8 doubles, 2 home runs, 21 RBIs, and 20 stolen bases. And you played pitcher, correct?
I was an outfielder and then a pitcher at times.
Outfielder and a pitcher at times. So that's pretty good for just an outfielder and a pitcher. So you enjoy playing professionally as well as collegiately. Baseball has just been in your blood, basically.
It's my job.
When did you first start playing baseball?
I was 7.
7 years old?
7 years old.
Little league?
Yep. I didn't know what a home run was, and my friend said, So when you hit the ball over the fence, and I said, I think I might be able to do that. And he bet me $1. And ever since then, I did it next at bat. And ever since then, I just fell in love with the game.
You fell in love with the game. And talk about what that love feels like in baseball. For baseball.
It's no other. You have your life, and then when you get between those lines, not a lot of people can do what we do, and so that sets you apart already. Mm-hmm. And then also, there's a level of competition that not a lot of people can do. Mm-hmm. You have to focus on hitting the ball. You have to focus on the ball that goes up, down, left, right, and out. Then you have to have the focus to be able to execute it. Then you have to understand the speed of the game. It's very calculated, and it's very interesting, and it's stimulating, and it's just a drive and a passion, and it's a place of peace. Being on the field, being on the grass, being on the lights, it's like almost going to church. You can't compare church to anything, but when you go into church, obviously there's some type of peace. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel that the baseball field is my church, it's my peace, it's my place of passion, and it's one place I can go where we tell our players, and as a player, you leave everything outside that fence, and when you step in here, you're able to be free. And I love that. For 9 innings, you're free to do whatever you need to do to get a W.
And that's obviously going to be your philosophy as the assistant coach here on the field.
My philosophy right now is just to teach the kids to play the game the right way. Mm-hmm. Coach Hill wants me to do, and what we're going over with these players, it's a lot of young guys don't understand how to play the game the right way. They don't understand the mental aspect, because the game is 90% mental, 10% physical, and when you have an approach and you execute the approach, that's what sets you apart. That's what sets it apart. And being able to get, the first third faster, less than 2 outs, and then executing to be able to get that man home and get your teammate home, and the bond and the relationship, and just to understand that you guys have to hold each other accountable.
Well, LaDale, we thank you for joining us on the Bulldog Chronicles today. We wish you luck in your first season on the Hill into 2014, and we wish the Bulldogs good luck.
Go Bulldogs.